If you need more proof that Beijing is not negotiating in good faith, take it from the president.
Are we in for a sustained trade war with China?
Well, you're in one now. Look, we have 100% tariff. If we didn't have tariffs, we would be exposed as being a nothing. We would have no defense. You know, they've used tariffs on us, but we've never had anybody sitting in that chair that felt the need to do it.
Welcome to the Big Money Show. I'm Dagan McDowell, along with my co-host today, Brianna Lyman, Brian Bremberg, Jackie DeAngelis, and with us this hour, Fox News contributor Liz Peek. China's threatening new export controls on critical minerals, materials, the same rare earths the United States needs to power everything from fighter jets to AI chips. This is after signing a deal earlier this year to keep those markets wide open. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer telling Maria Bartiromo that China is the trade aggressor, trying to control global supply chains and freeze U.S. businesses out.
It doesn't have to be that way, Maria. It sounds like the direction China is going, they're the ones that are taking actions to look like they want to decouple from the rest of the world. There's obviously a lot of room to have a trading relationship with China that finds a way to be constructive between us. But if China keeps taking the types of actions, or if they actually implement what they've threatened to implement, they, in effect, will be decoupling.
Because for decades, China has played the long game, stealing our technology, our intellectual property, rigging the markets, and daring us to do something about it, nothing about it. It looks like we are finally doing something and then some. Liz Peek, how do you see this? Because it comes down to, is China an adversary or a rival? And from the language from CEOs, Tim Cook and his ilk are meeting with China's negotiator, He Lifeng, in Beijing this week. From China, the rhetoric, from here, the rhetoric. I can't make heads or tails of it.
I think they are our adversary. I think decades of hostile behavior from China, including what you just talked about, Dagan, stealing our technology, and then they couldn't steal it, flooding the market with cheap competition to drive U.S. producers out of business, all of that. And, by the way, cyber hacking, which we just had another big blow up today, of China hacking, presumably a cyber company in America, which serves our government and is incredibly dangerous exploitation of this. I think China is an adversary, and the problem we have is that there are no holds barred, number one. Number two, we have not put up any long-term resistance to China getting a chokehold on our economy. They control rare earths. They control pharmaceutical inputs, all kinds of things that we actually cannot survive without. So, yes, we can have a very robust tariff regimen against almost everyone else in the world because the United States has far and away the biggest consumer economy. Everybody needs to do business here, including China. But the reality is, right now, China can say, no. If you do that, we're going to cut off rare earths. We're going to cut off the preambles to various kinds of pharmaceuticals that Americans depend on. So it's a really complicated mess. But I think our problem is we've had one hand tied behind our back for too long. I am so thrilled with Scott Bessent and President Trump becoming robustly resistant, I guess is one word, maybe aggressive in this. I think we needed to do that.
It feels like negotiating with someone who's trying to blackmail you.
Yeah.
If you don't do this, then I'm going to do this bad thing to you. And my view and philosophy on that is you've got to rip off the Band-Aid with a blackmailer like that and say, bring it on. And that is what the president is trying to do. And China's going to play every card that it has at its disposal to try to make this seem scary and to instill fear in the United States, in businesses here. But you've got to rip the Band-Aid off off, because what are you going to do? Bow down, get on your knees, and kowtow to China for another 50, 75, or 100 years? At some point, we've got to sort of take the medicine, figure out what the other supply chains are, figure out other places, and you face the blackmailer head on and say, okay, this is going to be painful, but we are going to figure it out. And I give the president so much credit for really being the first person to try to do that. And even though there has been some pain for businesses here, and people are uncertain about what the future will look like, I think this is the right thing to do. You just have to punch that blackmailer in the gut and say, bring it.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I totally agree with you. And, you know, if we had zero Trump tariffs, you would still have exactly the same problem we have now. We would still be totally dependent on China. We'd be pretending that we're not, because we wouldn't be doing anything to them. We wouldn't be building any capacity here. So we'd be as vulnerable as ever if there were no Trump tariffs. He has basically said, I'm going to call you out on this, China. Okay? My one problem with the way we're kind of setting this up, though, is China's stolen a lot from us. They didn't steal the rare earths. We handed them that.
But because they flooded the market. And they did it purposefully to drive us out of the business.
The environmental zealots in this country decades ago said, we're not going to do this anymore. Send it somewhere else. And China said, you want to give us the most strategic minerals in the future? Please do that. And they went around the globe, and they've obviously, I think, exploited other countries in Africa and so forth. But we gave them that. The fools who ran this country, who worshiped the environment more than human well-being, gave them that industry. And now you can't really blame China for saying it's leverage we got, we're going to play it.
I'll blame them. I'll point fingers. Something is emerging that is very powerful, and that's our allies coming to our side, because China has overplayed its hand on this rare earth shock, as Bloomberg calls it. So China's decision to implement these kind of unprecedented export controls on the rare earth supply chain and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent kind of revealed this somewhat. And a coalition is emerging of all of the most powerful nations together. Scott Bessent said, we're speaking with our European allies, with Australia, with Canada, India, and Asian democracies to form a cohesive, united response. And Japan's finance minister has called for the group of 7 countries to unite and respond to China's moves. His German counterpart touting a potential joint response of the entire bloc. Australia, you name it. China may be screwed up, and I'm enjoying this, because you get all of these powerful nations together, the U.S. being the strongest, to fight back against China. That's something.
Yeah, and the United States is very rich in these rare earth minerals, right? California, we have a mine there. We have it in Georgia. There's also rare minerals in Missouri, Wyoming, Nevada. They're all over. And to your point earlier, Brian, we did offshore the production because of pressure from environmentalists. And the problem that we face now is that even when we are able to mine, we can't refine these. We still send them back to China to get them refined. And so President Trump has a lot of options on the table. And I think something I'd like to see over the next 3 years, that if we don't get it done under him, we may never get it done. We need to create some kind of institute where we are teaching Americans, by partnering with Japan and other countries who have the technology and capabilities to do it, how do you refine these rare earths? And we need to bring that back here, because China is calling our bluff right now. And this is an opportunity where we've exposed that the government has left us susceptible to our biggest adversary. And now we have an opportunity to do something about it.
I just hope you're right on these European countries, because in my recent lifetime, these were the guys who had screwed up their energy sectors and with environmental regulations so badly that they had willingly hitched their wagon to Russia to power their economy. So I hope Trump has changed all their minds, but I'm kind of like in the I believe it when I see it sort of category on that one.
China is, and this is to paraphrase a quote from this analyst, inflicting a wide swath of pain on countries
Not
for
just
no
the US.
obvious reason.
Yeah.
And President Trump and Xi Jinping are still expected to meet in early November, and it first time in 6 years in South Korea. And negotiators from both sides are planning to huddle next week in advance of that meeting.
It is kind of interesting that Russia held up Europe by dominating their supply of natural gas, and through pipelines made Europe extremely vulnerable to a shutdown, and then they finally actually moved forward and did shut down Ukraine gas, et cetera. We don't seem to learn that this dependence, maybe Europe has learned. Maybe that's why they're actually getting together as the Group of Seven and being willing to support basically undoing somehow the blockade on rare earths. But, you know, there is, and it's, go ahead.
I just was going to say, seeing how Vladimir Putin has acted, I think the European nations, to your point, Brian, have woken up to, we shouldn't be in bed with certain people. And I think that China's watching everything that's unfolding around the world right now, including how America is participating in that, and saying, we need to try to dominate. We need to play offense. So to Dagan's point of, you know, sort of handing out unfair policies to countries who might not really deserve them right now, they think that this is the moment in time where if they cower, they might get beat. And so that's why I think they're being so aggressive. But, you know, this is not the time. Listen, their dream scenario would have been to have a Kamala Harris in office and not have to deal with President Trump again. But they realize that they're going to have to. And if they don't strike at this moment in time, they might lose their opportunity. But he's not the person that you want to have to strike against.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he is riding herd on these guys. And that's what they're going from woke to woke up in record speed. But if they do, it's only because Trump is there saying, you do this or your future is toast.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, just think about it recently. President Trump is the only president willing to try and diversify where we're getting rare earths. Ukraine, he tried to strike that deal with Ukraine to diversify it. So I think that President
We're
Trump
talking about Greenland.
And Greenland.
Right, exactly. So he's the only president who has the foresight to think, what's going to happen when I'm out of office in 5 years? It's pretty bad now. It's only going to get worse if we don't do something right now.
Well, he needs to think about taking the U.S. government taking stakes in some of these companies. So what the hell's going to happen with that when he's out of office? So maybe don't have the government.
That is an open question.
Maybe don't have the government be an owner in some of those companies.